Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
Tom.
Give me a break. It's a joke.
Jerry.
Well, we just don't have enough time for that.
Kevin.
Ben is unique. These guys are unique. Their championship runs, this one's unique.
It's the Tom and Jerry Sports Show.
Tom and Jerry Sports Show live on Zeno Radio. It is Monday, August 15th. I'm Jerry Napoleonello. I'm back here with the always gorgeous, the always smart and talented Nicole Conklin. Where do we start? There's so much to get to. We have a great show ahead of us. Preseason football has finally kicked off a week later than it was supposed to, but it's back. But who won't be back, at least for now? Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, as he played his last game in Yankee pinstripes on Friday. A-Rod in a Marlins jersey. Could happen. But we'll get to all of that coming up. Remember to join the conversation through our hour here at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live, or tweet us at TNJ Sports. But before we get into this jam-packed show, how was your weekend, gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
How was it?
It was okay. How was yours?
Had to work. A lot of stuff going on in the sports world, so busy at work. It was good though.
I'm glad.
I got to hang out with you. We went to the Yankee game on Friday. We got to see A-Rod's last game, which was fun.
Hot,
depressing. All of the above, I guess you could say. Had a little bit of a rain. But that is going to kind of bring us into the monologue of the show. Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez.
Who are you to call him by his middle name?
We're boys. We're close. I've been basically there for him.
Right.
Since 2004 when coming to the Yankees.
Yes. Silly
so,
me.
It's only right. Exactly. And
I'm sure he would appreciate it.
He would. He should be
calling in, right?
Well, I'm expecting.
Yeah,
He should be proud of what he did with the Yankees. Obviously, he had his time where it was kind of embarrassing. But you know what?
Happens.
People make mistakes, and it's, as he says, it's how you come back from it. And I think he did pretty well coming back from that. But we have a few clips here, and one is from, was it last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, when he had his press conference. I quote here, the surprise press conference with Alex Rodriguez, and this is what kind of came about.
This is a tough day. I love this game, and I love this team. And today, I'm saying goodbye to both.
So, a little choked up there. I definitely got choked up as well. But that was the day that I bought the tickets. I had to. It's only right, as I said. It's only right. And go figure, the seat that I go to sit in is number 13.
He took my seat.
I didn't take your seat.
You did.
I did not.
You did. I like that. I should have sat there.
You should have, but you didn't.
You took my seat.
I did not take your seat. I was the one with the tickets, all right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, right.
So
I should let you go by yourself. If you're going to play it like that.
So, again, it was sad to see him go. To a point, it's the right time, I guess.
Is it hard to watch him leave?
It is. It actually is
You didn't
very.
watch him leave.
I did.
You left.
I left. Yeah, good one.
We didn't watch him walk away. He was still talking.
No, he wasn't. He was going into. Well, he ended up. He finished with Meredith Marakovich, I think it is, from the Yes Network, if I'm saying the name right. But then he had to move on to Susan Waldman that with WFAN, so we couldn't hear that obviously. They
Why
played because it was on the radio. They didn't play it through the stadium speakers. It was actually depressing. I was actually depressed, and it actually surprised me how well the crowd took it and what they did for him. I am a little embarrassed about how they did his ceremony. I know that it was going to rain and everything like that, so I kind of felt like they rushed it, and it could have been a lot better. Not that it wasn't good, but it could have been a little bit longer. It could have been a lot better. And I mean, we had a half-hour rain delay, and after taking the tarp off, they still had to fix the field up and everything like that. So why not take that time? Because, I mean, by the time they got the tarp off, it was 7:30, I guess? Mm-hmm. The game didn't start until 8. So why not do the ceremony in between them taking the tarp off and having to fix the field all the way up to game time? You had a half hour there.
I think it was about a half hour, though.
What?
The ceremony.
I don't even think it was that long. I mean, it didn't rain for that long.
I guess.
So,
they did it before it rained. That is, I think.
Well, they were doing it as it was raining, and that's
once it started to downpour.
Yeah. So, I was a little embarrassed for the Yankees for that because I thought that was ridiculous. I think they could have did a better job with that.
But if no one likes them, then.
But that's the thing. Like it kind of ties into everything here with Alex Rodriguez. This whole thing was mishandled. I thought it was handled horribly by the Yankees. And I mean, you hear the press conference after the game with Joe Girardi, and in a way, is he faking? Is it actually real? And like after, if you do think it's real, then maybe he wasn't the one that was kind of handling it. Maybe he was just a puppet. But this is, maybe, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. But, if you did see it, if you didn't, go check it out. But this is part of Joe Girardi's press conference after A-Rod's last game.
I think some people think that I wanted to make negative decisions. But that's not the case. I have a huge heart. And if this is the last time he plays, I wanted it to be something I never forgot.
And I think he kind of meant by that, having A-Rod come out to play third base in the ninth inning, which I
played the whole game.
Well, yeah. Well, I called it, didn't I?
Nope.
What do you mean I didn't? I said, you know what? It'd be cool if they actually had him come out.
No, you didn't.
See, you're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Right in front of the camera.
You think you did not.
Bold-faced.
I said it.
Yeah, bold-faced lie.
I said it.
Bold-faced lie.
I said it.
So, like I said, I thought it was handled wrong. However, you want to take this Girardi press conference,
Please.
you do so.
Interpret it the way you feel you should.
I felt like, in a way, I felt like Girardi had a lot to do with it. I think Girardi didn't like A-Rod as much.
How do you know?
Because this whole thing, I mean, just, a lot of people have been saying, like, with Girardi and A-Rod, A-Rod could have let Girardi off the hook by saying, you know what, it's not his fault or whatever. He never said that. And in my way, like I felt like
Maybe he feels like he doesn't have to.
But what I feel like that we all know that Cashman didn't like A-Rod. Cashman, looked down on
Who liked A-Rod?
I think a lot of the organization does like A-Rod.
Does.
Yes. But I felt like I think Cashman had a lot to do with it because Cashman didn't want them to re-sign him when he opted out in the first place. So I felt like, this kind of had his fingerprints on it. Maybe even Randy Levine. I think Steinbrenner. I think Hal Steinbrenner loved him. George Steinbrenner definitely loved him. So it's hard to pinpoint where this was, but I mean, after the press conference, I think maybe it might not have been Joe Girardi, but and people think that A-Rod was faking his press conference, with the tears and everything like that, but after, everything is all said and done, A-Rod walked up to the plate in the first inning with Gardner. I think was he on second?
Yes.
I think he was on second.
Because he stole second.
Was it stealing second? I don't know.
Yes, he did.
Whatever it was.
You don't remember that?
Gardner was on base.
He stole second.
He might have.
How don't you remember that?
I don't remember.
You said, oh, did he really do that?
I don't know.
How don't you remember that?
Yeah, that wasn't Gardner. That was.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, Teixeira stole
No,
second.
it was that guy.
Well, whatever it was, Gardner was on base, and A-Rod came up in the first inning, down 1-0.
The 2-2. Line drive, base hit. Souza cannot cut it off. It'll go to the wall. Gardner will score. A-Rod's at second. He has an RBI double, and the Yankees have tied the game at
1. It was a cool moment. It was. I felt.
Were you happy to be a part of it?
I was actually very happy to be a part of it. And I was happy for A-Rod for getting that. He was obviously, hyped up for that. Just the way once he hit it, clapped his hands, got onto second, maybe said a couple of things that I can't say on the air, and was pumped up. And I wish he would have done better. But I mean, just everything about this guy. And it was funny because actually the kid that was sitting in front of us was telling his dad and his mom that nothing goes smoothly for this guy. It really doesn't. I mean, they're celebrating his last game, and all of a sudden we get a 15-minute hurricane to kill his ceremony. And, everything is always against A-Rod. I mean, the next day, the newspaper, like you think that this guy has really, I guess, helped out his cause the last couple of years, especially after his 1-year suspension. But still, I mean, right after the day after, you look at the newspaper, the sports side of the newspaper, the cover is "God hates A-Rod." I mean, it's like everybody's against this guy, and it's always been that. And I hate that.
Me too.
You should, because it's
just
ridiculous.
Twists me the wrong way.
Yeah, but the other thing that kind of, actually, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the next segment after the break. But there was one guy on the Yankees that, I guess, using your words, twisted me the wrong way on Friday.
Sock boy?
What? Yeah, and we're gonna bring that up when we get back. A-Rod is on his way out, but there's still baseball to be played. Yankees and Mets update next when we get back on the Tom and Jerry Sports Show on
Zeno Live.
Cyberstation USA is the future of radio. Get your business into the online future at the world's largest internet radio station. From banner placement on our homepage to any of our broadcaster stages, commercials on our video player, audio spots on any of our shows, or at the beginning of any of our on-demand broadcasts. Cyberstation USA offers competitive rates with a worldwide reach. A fully integrated one-stop shop social media broadcast platform. For more information, please contact our sales department at cameo@cyberstationusa.com.
All Noise Radio. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Tom and Jerry Sports Show featuring Kevin Donlin live every Monday on Zeno Radio and re-airs every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Cyberstation USA and the Stitcher app. You can also tune in every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on All Noise Radio and the Live 365 app.
Follow us on Instagram at Tom and Jerry Sports Show and join the conversation on Twitter at TNJ Sports, or visit our website at tnjsports.weebly.com, or call in to 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live.
We are back. Tom and Jerry Sports Show, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. A-Rod has played his last game with the Yankees, but there was some that played their first game as a Yankee. Here is your Yankee update.
New York Yankees update. That is right. It is your Yankees update. As Nicole was saying, A-Rod being, having his last game with the Yankees. Actually, the next day, we had new Yankees playing their first game as Yankees. But before we get to that, let's kind of get into the talk about A-Rod maybe moving on to another team. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's gotten to a point where he knows that, he might maybe get into one or two here and hit one out, but he can't do it fully. And obviously there's been talks with the Marlins because Giancarlo Stanton is out for the season now with a groin injury. I don't think A-Rod is the answer for them because he's not going to be anywhere close to what Giancarlo Stanton does for the Marlins. And to be honest with you, I think this whole Giancarlo Stanton injury is just part of the Don Mattingly jinx. You get so close to the playoffs, and then the jinx comes alive. And I don't know how far they're going to go, even if they do make the playoffs. But, that jinx is still alive. And I just feel like A-Rod is not the answer for the Marlins. And actually, his publicist just came out and said that it is not going to happen. He will not be playing for another team this year. So, I think he continues the advisor role that the Yankees gave him. All young players love this guy. And everybody that you kind of talk to that knows A-Rod basically says the same thing. This guy loves baseball. He basically wakes up and it's just baseball all day long. He's been doing it. He's been doing it since he was young, and he's been in the league since he was 18. The guy was recruited at like 12 years old as a phenom. he was a phenom. He had a phenom type career. I mean, this guy's stats. It's not even funny. This guy has to be in the Hall of Fame. And I think if you put in David Ortiz into the Hall of Fame, there's no question that A-Rod should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no question that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no question that Roger Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think there's a question now. I don't care about the whole steroid thing. That was the era. That was it. I can guarantee you most of the players were doing it. So, I don't like the whole thing. Everybody's against A-Rod because the whole steroids thing. It's stupid. I was happy to be in the stands for his last game. Obviously I wish he'd done better. But not everybody has the type of career and the luck of Derek Jeter. Not everybody can end up hitting a walk-off hit in their last game in the stadium that, he called home. So I think the double in the first inning was huge.
Everyone was cheering.
That's what I'm saying.
It got everyone so excited.
All the chants.
I thought it was cool that every time he did something, everyone was standing and
and
I couldn't see.
Well,
so I had to get up.
You should have.
Because we had Papi Chulo family sitting in front of us.
But like I said, with A-Rod leaving, it brought up some young guys that they're calling the baby bombers. Aaron Judge played his first game.
Aaron
Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Tyler Austin played his first game, and basically their first at-bats, they were batting right next to each other. So this is what happened on Saturday, if I could find it. There it is.
There it is.
The 2-2. Driven to right field and deep. Going back is Matuk on the track at the wall. Nice. Welcome to the big leagues. See ya. He'll never forget that. What an indoctrination. His first at bat and his first home run as the Yankees lead 1-0.
And the ball conveniently came back on the field, too.
Nice. I tell you one thing, as a young kid, you hit your first home run, all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is Yankee Stadium, a first row right down the line.
Now Aaron Judge has to match that as he makes his first big league at bat. Judge hits one to center field and deep. Going back, Kiermaier, turning, looking, see ya! A monster home run! Back-to-back home runs by the Baby Bombers in their first big league at bats. Can you believe it?
Wow.
It's funny, Michael, you said, well, Judge has to do the same thing. I mean, it's not that easy to walk up back-to-back. I mean, how many times did that ever happen in the history of baseball? 2 first at-bats, back-to-back home runs.
Well, Paul O'Neill, that's never happened before.
Never happened before, Paul O'Neill.
It was MLB history to have 2 players go back-to-back home runs in their first at-bats. I mean, it was awesome. I was actually at work at the time, and
me too.
Yes, but I had TVs in front of me.
Yeah, you didn't let me know the news.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the guys that I was working with weren't as enthused as I was. I was just, I mean, I ended up having to take the clip then after it happened and then give it to our update anchor so that they could put it on the radio at the time. So that was, that was cool. And Aaron Judge hit a complete bomb off the Mohegan Sun restaurant in center field. Then he hit another one the next day. So Aaron Judge is off to a hot start in pinstripes. For me, I thought that I didn't think he was going to be that good. I felt like he tailed off, but a lot of people are saying that this guy is kind of what I thought he was going to be. Is a home run strikeout type of guy. It's either a home run or he gets a strikeout. So I'm excited about the Yankees and how the young guys are going to come up. Gary Sanchez has been on fire since coming up. Aaron Judge, as I said, is on fire since coming up. Tyler Austin. So it's going to be nice because, after Teixeira is gone, you're probably going to see a Tyler Austin and Greg Bird tandem at first base. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I mean, there's not much to be excited about for the Yankees this year. But, I mean, the funny thing is they're in playoff contention here. They're like 3 games out of a wild card spot. They traded everybody away, all our best players. So, I mean, to be where we are right now, I mean, you have to be happy. And we have a better record than the Mets. So, like, what more could you ask for? Exactly. And the Mets are just doing a Mets thing. I mean, that's just what they're doing right now, so it's kind of funny. So that will bring us into...
Strike 3, you're out.
New York Mets update.
That is right. The Mets update is here. I'm not even really going to talk much about the Mets. I thought Terry Collins the other day in his press conference was hilarious. Pissed off was not even the word to describe how his press conference was, but I thought it was hilarious. Especially that he basically called out his team and said, Friday comes around, we're gonna be back out there, all enthused and everything like that, and they lost again. So I thought it was funny. They got swept by the Diamondbacks.
Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
They got swept by the Diamondbacks. They lost 2 of 3 from the Tigers. They split with the Yankees. Right before the Yankees, they got swept by the Rockies. They lost 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals. It's been a rough couple of weeks for the Mets, and
it's been a rocky road.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm not talking ice cream.
Oh my God. They are 59 and 58, and the Yankees are 60 and 57.
This was a Mets update.
This was a Mets update, but we go right back to the Yankees.
That's
because
not right.
I forgot to bring up what I wanted to bring up at the break.
At the break.
Everybody for the Yankees in A-Rod's last game wore his socks like A-Rod wears his socks, the high socks.
Oh, yes.
And I picked it out right away.
So did I. I said, look at those socks. You know who they remind me of?
Mark Teixeira did not wear his socks up. And
what he did?
The last
he
couple
wore them down.
The last couple of years, I've been very sour towards Mark Teixeira just because of.
Is he a good player?
He is. He's a great first baseman. He's had a great career, but just the way that he carries himself with baseball, if there's any way of him getting hurt, he gets pissed off. Like the worst one was when, I think it was last year or the year before, he was on second base, a ball was hit into the outfield, the third base coach sent him, and he got thrown out at home. He got up screaming at the third base coach like it was his fault, like he could have gotten hurt, like this, blah, blah, blah. Then the other day when they're playing the Mets, Steven Matz hits him in the foot after he hits a home run or whatever it was, and he gets pissed off with that, starts, screaming at Steven Matz. Just every little thing annoys me about him. And
every little thing?
Yes. And with this whole thing, first of all, you sucked all year. So you wearing your socks up or down is not going to help. No matter what. You're batting 200.
You mean that he may have done it as like a superstitious kind of thing?
You're batting 200.
I understand what you're saying.
So,
so it's not going to make or break your hitting.
Exactly.
You
and
gotcha.
I think that he should
show some respect. Pull your pants up. Show
exactly.
your socks.
And
support your man.
Another player that I was kind of annoyed with, when it comes to the Yankees, was Derek Jeter. Why wasn't he there? The next day he was showing his face because they were doing
that's different. Why did he have to be there?
Why not? That guy played 12 years with him.
Well, maybe they didn't end on good terms.
They definitely did end on good terms. A-Rod was always by Jeter's side, and I thought it wasn't right because
you wanted to see him there.
No, because if I wanted to see him, I would have went to the next day because I knew he was going to be there. But
where does he live? Does he live in New York?
he lives in the city. Well, he lives in Florida, but he's here because he had to show up on Saturday.
You're right.
So why not show up? Mariano Rivera was there. So why not? Same thing with Jorge Posada, same thing with Bernie Williams. I mean, why not be there? The guy's playing his last game. He was there for everyone else's.
Well, because he was playing.
It doesn't matter.
No, I don't agree with that.
It doesn't matter.
You don't need to rip them for that. They have their own lives, their own families.
But that's my opinion. Okay. I want to hear what everybody else's opinion is.
Not mine, though, because you're shutting me off.
I'm not shutting you up. Go. Well, nope. I want. You know what?
I have nothing else to say.
We're gonna tease.
Nope.
We're gonna tease yours.
No, I don't. Care.
You are gonna give your.
No, I don't have one.
Opinion.
Nope.
When we get back
Too late.
from the break, football's back. We'll discuss that.
Guess who's back? Back.
When we get back. You're listening to the Tom and Jerry Sports Show on
Friends Zeno Live.
The Tom and Jerry Sports Show featuring Kevin Donlin live every Monday on Zeno Radio and re-airs every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Cyberstation USA and the Stitcher app. You can also tune in every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on All Noise Radio and the Live 365 app.
Follow us on Instagram at Tom and Jerry Sports Show and join the conversation on Twitter at TNJ Sports or visit our website at tnjsports.weebly.com or call in to 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be
Cammy Entertainment Group and Cyberstation USA are now part of Stitcher, a free radio app for your smartphone. With Stitcher, you can listen to live programming as well as archived radio programming right on your phone. To obtain Stitcher, just go to the App Store for your particular phone. Go to search, then type in Stitcher. That's Stitcher, S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. Then download. It's that simple. Stitcher, a free radio app for your smartphone. Convenient access to live and archived Cyberstation USA programming on your mobile phone. That's Stitcher, S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. Cyberstation USA, always on the go.
All Noise Radio. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
I am phenomenal. Every ounce in my blood, every breath in my lungs, won't stop until I'm phenomenal.
We are back, Tom and Jerry Sports Show, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. You can tweet us at TNJ Sports or head to our website, tnjsports.weebly.com. The Cowboys have had questions about their backup to Tony Romo, probably since John
Kitna.
Cowboys higher-ups and fans are definitely happy about what they saw on Saturday when it comes to Dak
Prescott. Or as you would say, Prescott.
Prescott. That's what it looks like.
It's the pre to Scott.
Prescott. That Prescott.
But Dak Prescott was starting the offseason as the number 3 quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And with the injury to Kellen Moore, it brought up questions, because there already was questions before Kellen Moore got hurt, but for some reason they didn't want to answer those questions. But then Nick Foles got released, so then everybody thought that Nick Foles was going to end up a Cowboy, and that did not happen. He ended up signing with the Chiefs. But Dak Prescott found himself as the number one quarterback on Saturday as they played their first preseason game in LA for the first time in a couple of years now, more than a couple of years. But the St. Louis Rams have now moved to LA, and they played their first game in the Coliseum. And Dak Prescott was starting for the Dallas Cowboys because Tony Romo had the day off. And he did better than anybody would have thought. And he played amazing. I think he was 10 for 12. Let me try to find the stats. 10 for 12 with 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played exceptional.
I've never seen someone play like that.
I mean,
you know what it was?
What?
That other word that you used.
Exceptional.
What's that word you used yesterday that I never heard? That I thought was so cool. Finesse.
Oh, finesse. You thought that was finesse?
Yeah. I thought the way he played was rather finesse.
Rather finesse. Oh, okay. He surprised me. He
surprised me too.
His passes were right on the money. I mean, especially right before the first quarter ended, I think it was. He had a pass to Bryce Butler, and then he had, coming out of the first quarter, going into the second, he had the 32-yard pass to Terrence Williams for the touchdown. He also had the fade to Dez Bryant in the end zone. Could have probably been better, but Dez Bryant catches everything in his wingspan, I guess you could say.
In his what?
His wingspan. So they played well. Obviously,
I couldn't agree more. You know what? Wait, let's take a moment.
Their first half, I guess you could say, because their second half they ended up losing.
Loser. Did Tony Romo play?
No, like I said, Dak Prescott started.
Why isn't he playing?
Well, because he's coming off of an injury, and there's no reason for him to play in the first preseason game because he'd probably end up playing 5 downs.
Is he playing next time?
He will probably play this week. So,
who are they playing against?
I don't know. I think maybe Miami.
Miami. Welcome to Miami.
Let's see. Preseason week 2.
Preseason week number 2.
They are playing Miami, as I said.
They're so good.
In Texas. But as I said in the open, that football was supposed to start last week. Well, the week before.
Why didn't
it? Paint.
Excuse me?
Paint.
What does that mean?
The Hall of Fame game, obviously we had, Brett Favre and Tony Dungy, and guys like that end up getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And tradition, they always have a Hall of Fame game, which starts off football, basically. So we were going to have the Packers and the Colts going against each other. And right before... What? I don't speak sign. But they ended up they were supposed to play. And right before, probably 2 hours before game time, maybe 3 hours before game time, and they ended up canceling the game because of the paint on the field.
Wasn't dry?
It wasn't that it wasn't dry.
It
hardened and was slick.
So no one could play.
So it was kind of an embarrassment towards the NFL.
Shame on them. Can we shake our heads?
Shake them.
Shake. Thumbs. Boo.
So basically, it had to start this week. And basically that means that everybody gets the same amount of games because the Colts and the Packers and the Colts would have ended up having an extra game. And they don't now. They have the same as everybody else.
Is that bad?
I mean,
why
it really
do they
doesn't.
deserve an extra game?
Well, it was mainly because Brett Favre played the best years of his career as a Packer, and Marvin Harrison played all of his as a Colt.
Oh.
So, other than that, Cowboys' first team played very well, especially with Dak Prescott under center. I guess because we're, doing our show out of New York, I guess we'll talk about the two New York teams.
Your favorite.
The Jets, yeah. The Jets won their game. Fitzpatrick ended up playing probably the first series, I guess. They won 17-13. The Giants lost their game. Funny. They had Ryan Nassib play start the game instead of Eli Manning. And they ended up putting 10 quick points on the board in the first quarter, and that was it. They ended up losing 27-10. Sterling Shepard showed out. He's got an injury, though, now, so that's a little bit of a question. Victor Cruz also still not practicing, which is not a good look for him. I mean, why even keep this guy anymore? There's no reason to keep him. Just get rid of him.
Bye.
I mean, it's ridiculous now.
It's nice to know ya. Let's do it again.
Exactly what she said. There's no point. I mean, the guy hasn't played a full season in about 3 or 4 years. What's the point?
It's not your call to make.
I understand that, but
owner Jerry?
I should be. I think I would take my team to a Super Bowl.
Would
to be
you?
honest with you, I really do.
It's clearly not running in the name because your boy isn't. What was that?
I took a sip. Is there a problem?
That's what the cough button is for.
Oh. Yeah, so the rest of the scores that anybody really cares. 23-17 Falcons over the Redskins. 17-9 Eagles over the Buccaneers. Bad news for the Eagles. Carson Wentz hairline fracture in his ribs. He'll miss some time. Patriots over the Saints. 34-22 Garoppolo. 11 for 18, 168 yards and a touchdown. Ravens over the Panthers, 22-19. Jets, as I said, over the Jaguars, 17-13. Broncos over the Bears, 22-0. If you can't score any points in a preseason game, your team sucks. Lions over the Steelers, 30-17.
I wouldn't say that because we'll see what the Cowboys do next week.
Pump the brakes. Dolphins over the Giants, 27-10, as I said. Vikings, 17-16 over the Bengals. Packers, 17.
Aren't the Dolphins the worst team?
Nah, they're all right.
Who's the worst team?
Right now, the Bears. No, I don't know. We'll see when the season starts. 49ers will probably be down there. Titans over the Chargers, 27-10. Rams over the Cowboys, 28-24. Colts over the Bills, 19-18. Seahawks over the Chiefs, 17-16 on a last-second touchdown by the Seahawks. They ended up going for 2 and got it and won. Texans over the 49ers, 24-13. And that is your scores for the preseason week 1. Tomorrow is Hard Knocks, episode 2. The first episode was terrible, so we'll see what the second one brings. It's going to have to do with the preseason game against the Cowboys, so I'm excited to watch that. But I do have some news. I wanted to talk about some idiot that plays for San Diego, and we'll get to that after the break. The Olympics have been in full swing the last 2 weeks, and there's a lot of good that has happened, and definitely a lot of bad. We'll get into that coming up on the Tom and Jerry Sports Show on Zeno Live.
This is the evolution of radio.
Cyberstation USA.
Our inventions change us. They make us think differently.
Something new added to the real world.
The leading edge of evolution.
That development has got to be delivered.
CyberstationUSA.com.
The most sophisticated that I've ever seen.
I'm not sure exactly what the future is, but I'm pretty sure it's not going away.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting founder Dick Robinson.
You know, the media business has changed a lot since we opened our doors in 1964. Now media content is everywhere, on air, online, on the go. More than ever, companies are looking for people to help drive this new media.
At Connecticut School of Broadcasting, you'll get hands-on training on the latest software and equipment in a matter of months, not years. Connecticut School of Broadcasting has placed thousands of grads in broadcast media careers.
It's all about versatility. You see, at a radio station, if you also know how to shoot, edit, and post videos, you become a pretty hot commodity. That's the training you get at Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting with locations up and down the East Coast from Massachusetts to Miami. Call 1-800-TV-RADIO or log on to GoCSB.com. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, the nation's oldest and largest group of broadcast media schools, redefining training in radio, TV, and new media. Get trained. Get connected. 1-800-TV-RADIO.
Tom and Jerry Sports Show featuring Kevin Donlin live every Monday on Zeno Radio and re-airs every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Cyberstation USA and the Stitcher app. You can also tune in every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on All Noise Radio and the Live 365 app.
Follow us on Instagram at Tom and Jerry Sports Show and join the conversation on Twitter at TNJ Sports or visit our website at tnjsports.weebly.com or call in to 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live.
Go and do it for me. Now watch me whip. Kill it. Now watch me nay-nay. Okay. Now watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Why me do it? Now watch me whip. Kill it. Watch me nay-nay. Okay. Now watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay.
We are back on the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. We are taking phone calls at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. There's a lot of good, bad, and evil when it comes to the Olympics in Rio.
Before we get to the Rio thing, I wanted to talk about the whole idiot in San Diego.
All right.
Joey Bosa.
Who the heck is that?
He is the third pick in the draft this year.
Joey Bozo?
Bosa.
Should be Bozo. He's an idiot. Get
basically.
It? We need one of those things
you know
where you hit the button and then the whole crowd goes, ha, 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 ha.
I could get that.
Okay. Let me just do it for everybody else. Hit button.
And she snorts. But his mom actually came out and made a Facebook post.
Oh, jeez. Jesus.
But let me kind of fill you in if you don't know about it. He still has not signed his contract. He's not in at camp. Obviously, he missed the first preseason game. Now, you have not touched the field in camp yet for the Chargers, so that means you're not getting anything of the playbook. You're not, learning anything because of bonus money. That's the problem. Bonus money. And then his mom has the audacity to make a Facebook post saying that Joey should have done what Eli Manning did because they think that San Diego is such a bad organization. First of all, Mom, shut up. This has nothing to do with you.
Mom, shut up.
All right? It goes the same thing with, the wives making, posts like Steph Curry's wife, Brent Grimes' wife. These women have to stop talking for their men. Show up to camp, sign the damn contract. You're not you just got drafted. You're not a 10-year vet that wants a big contract. You haven't played a down in the NFL, and you think that you're good enough, that you deserve a big contract or a big bonus? Get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out.
You know what? I'm glad the Cowboys did not sign this bozo.
Johnny Bozo?
Yeah.
Is that his
No,
name?
Joey Bosa.
Josie Bozo.
But, I mean, I'm done with this whole idiot act. I hope he gets hurt. Because that was kind of mean. That was kind of mean.
That was very mean. Take it back.
I take it back. But what I'm saying is he's probably going to get hurt.
Why?
Because that's what happens. You hold out, you get hurt. Basically, that's it. You're not getting the work that you should have gotten. So don't be surprised if you see Joey Bosa hurt.
Stop.
I'm just saying. That's
Who
just.
are you to make such calls?
I'm just saying. That's what happens.
I don't like that.
That's what happens. Des Bryant did it. That's what you hold out, you end up getting hurt.
Jerry.
But I'm moving on.
Thank you.
On to the Olympics, to where other people are getting hurt.
Shot. Did you have the thing in JFK yesterday?
I did not. What happened?
The shooting.
You're just gonna.
There was some sort of thought of a shooting. I don't think it actually amounted to anything.
Yeah.
There was they thought they heard shots and stuff.
Wow.
Mhm.
So.
Scary, right?
Yeah. I mean, moving on to the Olympics.
Sorry.
In other scary news.
In Rio.
Brazil has just been a complete nightmare. With this whole Olympics thing. I mean, there's a video out. I don't know if it's actually Rio, but I mean, everybody's saying it is. Of these kids just stealing off of people as they're walking. Also, there was the bus that was carrying the media people shot up. I think one person was injured. Nobody killed. And I mean, before it, you had the problems with Zika, you had the problems with the water, you had the problems with the bicycle lane or whatever collapsing, killing 2 people. I mean, just the whole thing has been a complete nightmare. Then there's news that comes out today or yesterday, whatever it was, that Ryan Lochte, the swimmer for the U.S., was out with a couple of teammates for a party and was held up at gunpoint.
Should he be partying?
Well, I mean, to me, there's no way I'm leaving other than going to the aquatic center if you're a swimmer, or going to whatever stadium that you have to go to do your own event. There's no way I'm leaving the Olympic Village.
Why?
Just because of what everything's going on around that place. I mean, there was people's feet floating up a shore, fingers, hands, arms floating up a shore by the volleyball courts. I mean, it's been a complete nightmare. And then the whole thing with the Ryan Lochte getting robbed at gunpoint, his wallet was taken. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, comes out and said it wasn't true. They're trying to cover this stuff up because they know they messed up. That this Olympics, first of all, that it's corrupt, and everybody knows that. Brazil is going to go even more bankrupt than it already is. So I guarantee you'll see that after the Olympics is gone, because what are they going to do with these stadiums now that they just built?
What do they do with them everywhere else?
Everywhere else, I mean, it's the same thing, though. All these other places are going bankrupt.
Not us.
No, of course not, because we'll use those things, or we already have them built. And, that's...
the Olympics here?
In I think it was like 96 or something like that.
And what stadiums are they, or you don't know?
I forget, but the thing is, like, when you look at it, there's a stadium in every state.
Here?
Yeah.
So they can just use it?
Absolutely.
Are you sure, though? It's not like a specially built thing?
I mean, some of them are specially built, but the thing is, if you have it here, then you could build whatever. That's all. Exactly. That's all you have to do. There's arenas here. There's stadiums. You could use anything. You have a football stadium. You have a baseball stadium. You have an ice hockey rink. You have basketball arenas.
The swimming?
I mean, if anything, there's got to be. Absolutely. So I think just the whole thing, I think it would be so much better if it was done in the U.S.
A more wealthy, well-off country.
Yeah, but like the next two, I think, are going to be somewhere in China or Tokyo, whatever,
there you
Japan.
go. That's
So that's another, rich, obviously, a rich country, right up there with the United States. But
maybe even higher.
Yeah. But the medal count goes as follows. The United States are in first place with 72 medals. Second place is Great Britain with 41.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. The United States has 26 gold, 22 silver, and 24 bronze. Simone Biles ended up picking up a bronze today. If you are going to end up watching it tonight, close your ears. But other than that, I mean, Michael Phelps has been unbelievable.
Have you been watching?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, because I had to watch because of work. So, Katie Ledecky has been absolutely dominant, and I'm actually happy to see her do what she's doing because she's actually the niece of the Islanders owner now. So I'm happy to see that, especially that, in an interview after her first race, they asked if she's going to be an Islander fan. She said absolutely, and then she started the yes chant. You got to love that on TV. But, I mean, she dominated one race where...
What does she swim?
Yeah, where she finished her race before anybody was even in the picture on TV. She was passing them as they were coming in to make the turn. She already made the turn. It was absolutely dominant. Michael Phelps was dominant. He ended up picking up his 23rd gold medal, and he will end up retiring. This will be his last. And he actually finished his last race last night, ended up picking up a gold. Usain Bolt has been dominant as usual.
Did he
bolt? He did.
Swimmer?
No, runner. So that's, fun to watch. All these races are pretty fun to watch.
That's debatable.
They are. I mean, you have to. Michael Phelps is fun to watch. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. But
have you ever seen me swim?
But you had the women's soccer lose, not even going to get a medal, which is crazy. The United States men's soccer team didn't even make it to the Olympics.
Well, guess we're not a soccer country.
Yeah. But then, you move on to basketball, which has been dominant. Actually, they had their closest game of the Olympics yesterday. Ended up winning 100-97. The women's basketball has been dominant. We'll pick up gold in both of those sports.
We, as if you're there.
Yeah, we are.
We. What the heck are you doing besides
United we stand.
You're sitting at home eating a bag of potato chips.
Yeah. But overall, I think the Olympics has done more bad than good. But, you can't do anything about it now. I mean, there was the other day, they're diving. They're in the diving pool. It's green. They were diving into a green pool.
What do you mean? And they let that happen?
They had the first day they canceled it. They postponed it.
Why couldn't they just
and then the next
it?
That's what I'm saying. So they were planning on swapping the water now. It was just, I mean,
and people
there was
did it? You get
I mean,
sick.
there's no way that I would have just refused. I would have said
no, you wouldn't have.
I would have.
You wouldn't though. You're at the Olympics, you're doing your thing. You're gonna say, you know what? No.
If you get enough of the swimmers to refuse.
If you were already there, come on. They got
But what I'm saying is I would refuse until they they fix the water.
Who was the one that got their sperm frozen because they were scared to get
that was a basketball player. I think it was Pau Gasol.
Smart man.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
But, just the whole thing.
You never know.
There's a lot of problems with Gabby Douglas, the gymnast, who really stepped onto the scene 4 years ago for the the Summer Olympics the last time, and she's been taking a lot of flack through this one. One for not putting her hand over her heart during the national anthem.
Well, why wouldn't you?
That. Another one for looking angry or whatever. It just the whole thing. She's actually upset. She finished her last, whatever you call it, gym thing.
Set?
I guess, I don't know. But, it's just been more bad than good.
Why did she act like
Well, yeah. But
grow up.
She was upset because everybody was killing her on Twitter. So
maybe she shouldn't act like that.
But other than that, I mean, we had a very hectic week of sports, and it's only continuing. Football is still coming into the full swing of things.
I can't wait to wear my football apparel.
Yeah. And then
if someone gets it for me.
Actually, we have a game day grub real quick. Nicole, do you want to say it?
You start it.
It's actually going to be BLT wraps.
Yum, I love BLTs.
They're little mini wraps. Ingredients: 1 cup of mayonnaise, half cup of dried tomatoes and oil, drained and chopped, 8 to 10 inches, 10-inch flour tortillas.
So pretty much you're going to put some bacon, lettuce, tomato, and some mayo, onions in a wrap, and you wrap it up to your preference, pack it up,
Takes 20 minutes.
And stuff it.
Bing, bang, boom.
That
You're
is
ready
the perfect
to eat
little finger food at your next football event, baseball event, Olympic party.
Absolutely. And that...
You can even dip it in our dip that we made last week.
Yes.
Ooh, the Greek salad dip. Do a little...
Yeah. But that will do it for the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. We only have a couple more shows.
As the Tom and Jerry Sports
As
Show.
the Tom and Jerry Sports Show.
Then we're becoming the Nick and Jer...
Attack.
Jab.
It's actually going to be running up the score with Jerry Napoleonello, but
featuring
Nicole
my name
Conklin.
is nowhere on there. I'm a little upset.
I could put it on there.
No, you know what? You didn't want it there. If you wanted me there, I would be there. I understand.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm just a side piece. That's how I live my life.
Don't worry, people. I'll let you know how this goes.
This fight ends up.
Yeah.
Happy Monday.
But that will do it for the Tom and Jerry Sports Show. And like I said, there's only a few more left, so savor it. I am Jerry.
I'm Jerry's girlfriend.
Nicole. That will do it. Be breezy.
Ow.
You've been listening to the Tom and Jerry Sports Show
on Zeno Radio.